So this is fucking really bad. I mean, this is okay, but it's not great. I gotta make this truck do U-turns. Oh, I missed it! Woo-hoo! I got no brakes, Lieutenant Dan! Alright, as you can see, I'm driving the DUALLY! Ah, everything's fucking wrong! Alright, so obviously I'm in the DUALLY. Oh, shit. Oh. It brakes okay now. Definitely brakes better than what I thought it was. I know you guys have been waiting to see this thing for fucking ever. I've got some... Oh, I can't believe I'm driving this thing right now. I haven't driven this truck in 6 months. It's been 6 months since I've driven this truck. And despite having not driven this truck in 6 months, I missed it. I missed it so much. And I know there's shit in here, and like the cab corners aren't done. It's not painted. There's a lot of stuff that's going on with this truck that I'll explain in just a little bit. But I need to go drop this off at Capital Cadillac. Right now we have some weird problems where like the passenger windows won't roll up, the seat won't work. It's got some StabiliTrak issues. I think the clock spring's busted because the horn's not working, and none of these buttons are. So it's got a few electrical problems. No shit, we touched everything in the truck. So we have to redo some stuff. But I've got Laura with me in the Gladiator. And she's traveling really close behind me because my brake lights don't work for some reason. Listen to that turbo spool though. Oh, this thing's got so much power. It just wants to go. Turn down the boost a little bit. But yeah, I don't got brakes. The brake bleeding system on this thing is like really weird and hard. So we haven't been able to bleed the brakes very well. But she's driving straight. It's got a great alignment on it now. It says the doors are open, but that's because none of the windows work. I think whatever, there's a disconnect in the ECU between the doors and the passenger seat. But goddamn, we got a vent on it. We're driving it. The DUALLY's coming home soon. We got some check engine lights. Got some ABS codes. Hey, like damn Jackie, I can't control the weather. But I'm dropping it off at our good boys Capital Cadillac. They're the same people who hooked us up with a frame here for this truck. Hopefully they'll be able to work out all the little kinks that it's got in it, you know, like the electrical issues and the other crap. Let's just listen to that turbo spool though. Okay, so no brakes, no brakes, no brakes, no brakes. Kind of brakes. God, I forget how big this truck is. God, it feels so good to be back in this tank. Man, I've missed this truck so fucking much. And it's really hard for me to like be excited about it because it's got a little bit of issues with it. The timing, the way it's worked out right now, I want to get this thing back to driving. I don't really care about the cab corners right now. I want you guys to get back excited about it. So I'm gonna bring it home with me in a little bit. I gotta, like I said, get these little bugs worked out. Then I'm bringing this thing home with me and we're gonna make this thing insane. I mean, it's already insane. It's kind of a piece of shit right now, but it's a running piece of shit. Oh, it sounds so good. I miss that sound. God, I'm so happy. All right, we're here at Capital Cadillac. Nobody died, which is great. So now I gotta go find TJ. And we're back at the house, and we got the Mustang to work on now. So I dropped off the DUALLY at Capital Cadillac. They're gonna take care of it there, hopefully. They're gonna troubleshoot it and see if they can't figure out what we just couldn't figure out ourselves. I know it's a Cadillac dealership, it's all the same shit, really. That being said, today we're gonna try to get the Mustang to run. I got a bunch of parts. Some of this is for the Mustang, some of this is for the 73. I've got some work to do. The Mustang hasn't run since I parked it at Justin. It could be a couple things. Could be fuel pump, could be, that's really all I got. Could be fuel pump, could be something in the fuel rails, could be something in the fuel filter. I don't know, but the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start from the back and work my way forward. So we get the Mustang on blocks, on jacks. like this. And then I'm gonna start, I'm gonna pull the tank out, replace the fuel pump, and work my way from there. If that doesn't fix it, move on to the next thing. I mean, I got a bunch of shit for this Mustang. Oh yeah. And, out of here real quick. Justin was telling me a lot of people will cut out this section of their trunk to get access to the fuel pump, but I don't think I want to cut this out with the fuel tank in there in case there's like a leak or something at the top and there's fumes, and then I burst into flames. So I think the best thing to do is to drop the tank. Do my best to get a lot of this crap cleaned up today too. I want to rip out the interior. Guess I need to get the music going and get to work. Alright guys, and one more thing I gotta do before we get to the rest of this video is I do technically have a sponsor for today's video. I say technically a sponsor, but I'd like to welcome Ridge Wallet as a part of my YouTube family, because I've been following Ridge Wallet since they were on Kickstarter. I always thought it was a cool product, and later last year they reached out to me and asked if I would do some promos for them. And long story short, working with them has been really well. I like their product a lot, and they like to be a little bit more involved with me and my channel too, because we work really well together. We've got a completely new coupon code. I want to tell you guys that. I know the last one was Do With Dan. This one is just Dan, D-A-N. It'll save you 10% off your Ridge Wallet. You know, if you guys have ever wanted a Ridge Wallet and you want my sincere opinion, I love mine. I use mine. I've got all my friends on them. I like their product a lot, and that's the only reason I push it. The same reason I push the HeatwaveVisual sunglasses. I really like their product a lot. I stand behind it 100%, and they fuck with me. And that's how I work with people on my channel is, you know, I do a bunch of ads where, you know, I talk about video games or whatever. And those are fun to do because I make them goofy. But the real ones, like Ridge Wallet and HeatwaveVisual, the ones that stick around, the ones that I really partner with, those are the ones that support me and I support them. They're like family to me kind of deal, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, just want to throw it out there. New coupon code, Do It With Dan, if you want to get one of these. I highly suggest it. I love mine. This one is aluminum, olive drab green, matches my AR-15. Go figure. Anyway, we'll get back to the video. Let's get up underneath here and look at what we're fighting with. We got a lot of rust. I mean, it's all surface rust. It's really not, it's not eating through a lot of stuff down here. I mean, the exhaust is still intact, which is surprising, but I got some exhaust over there for this. This is a fuel filter right here. I want to check that. I think that's pretty much fuckerinoed. Since I'm doing a 5-lug conversion anyway, I'll have to take this off. So when I go to take this off, I'll do my best to straighten this out and make it seal up really good, but there's probably not much fluid left in that anyway. Just take these 2 bolts off here and we'll drop the fuel tank. Fuel lines, man, these look fuckered. Lighting in here good enough, but look at this fuel line. This fuel line's completely crushed. It's like caved in on itself. If I had to guess, it's not like a Mustang thing, is it? Oh yeah, we just crush our fuel lines. They work great. This is all ghetto fabulous right here. They've just spliced these wires for Lord knows what reason. So this is the pump sending unit. Look at this. Got a bunch of parts from Holley. Let's see what we got. Head gaskets, manifold gasket. It's electric water pump, shifter, mission pack, MSD plug wires, fuel pressure regulator. I don't know why I ordered that. I don't think that's the right thing. Electric fuel pump, Got more parts. Oh, this is my intake? Yeah, this is my intake. Gotcha. Now, this thing's been really nasty wired here. I'm gonna take this out and clean this wiring up. Actually, it's not a bad looking fuel pump. I mean, this is a, the factory is I think 190 GPM, and this is Holley's 255 gallons per minute fuel pump. And these connection wires are basically completely disgusting, so I'm gonna do my best to redo those. She's priming, we got fuel in the fuel filter. Okay, it's getting fuel in the fuel rails now. We're getting like 40 PSI or some shit, I don't know. Alright, well, I don't really know what's going on yet, but I do know that I'm getting fuel all the way from back here up to the fuel lines. So I'm going to call this good. I'm going to kind of throw this tank all back together. You feel me? Oh, fuck. This is gonna give me access to the fuel pump if it ever goes out. Just cut this little section out, should be able to pull it out, pop a new one in right here. I'll, in the future, create a little flap that covers that and remain sealed, not let water in and stuff. So don't worry about that. Good news, everybody. So I've got the ECU pulled out. So I pulled the ECU last night after I did a ton of research. Basically, ran out of things to chase and stuff like that, and then I got on this thread, which I'll put in the description. This cranks good but no start forum that I found about the Foxbody Mustang is brilliant. Thank you to these guys who created this. I mean, it narrowed it down to just this problem in a matter of minutes. But last night I was doing some research, and it's like, okay, your injectors aren't pulsing, but you're getting fuel pressure at the rails. Your fuel pump is staying on constantly, and it cranks and cranks and cranks, and you're getting spark. That's what I was doing. And it came down to like 1 or 2 things, but this was like the #1 thing that fit all of the symptoms. So you have all these, forget what these things are called. These little resistors or something like that. Are these resistors, diodes? I don't know. You have these little cells right here. I guess they're just not built to last very long term wise. It looks like someone's definitely opened up this ECU several times before. This is not the first time this has been opened. In here it smells awful. This is nasty. It smells like someone didn't clean their dick for a week. But this one, as you can see right here, is completely cut off of that post. This one and this one look okay, but they look pretty mutilated, like someone's put those in before. So these have probably been replaced. I'll replace these now. I'll take these to a local shop, have them replace these. And if it happens again under my ownership, I'll probably switch over to like a standalone ECU, but for right now, this is gonna be a cheap fix, probably like 20 bucks. Because all I gotta do is go in and solder these pieces and replace them, or maybe just that one. I don't know about these two, but this one's definitely fried. This one's only on 1 leg here. So I'm gonna go take this to a repair store that can work on circuits. I'm not handling this myself because I'll fuck it up. Then the Mustang should run. I also need a new battery, so I'm gonna pick that up too. So I dropped this ECU off at this guy's like TV repair place. They said that those are the guys who can do it. You'd be surprised how hard it is to find someone who can just do some soldering on some circuitry. You figure with how many circuit boards there are that the repair would be easy, but it's either have some guy do it for like 20 bucks, get a repaired module for like 400 bucks, or do an aftermarket Holley Terminator kit for like 1,400 bucks. And I've got a lot of stuff from Holley, and I'm not sure that I really want to like dump that much more into this car. I'm not sure if this car deserves a Holley Terminator kit, you know what I'm saying? They're expensive, they're nice. But where does it leave us? So Buddy said it's gonna probably take a couple days. He hasn't done one of these before, and there's really not anybody else around here who can do it. So I'm kind of stuck with him doing it while I wait. But the good news is that is for sure our problem. He said that all 3 of the capacitors that I was pointing at earlier were actually blown. Just one of them was worse than the others. Like, probably took them out in series, I guess. I don't know. So until we get it back, I'm gonna assume that was the issue. In the meantime, I'm gonna rip out all of this interior, do a little bit of weight reduction, throw in some seats, headlights, taillights, do all the fun stuff that I couldn't really do because the car wasn't running. Start with all the trunk shit from yesterday. It's all garbage. We're not using it. So we'll take this to the dump. Trunk's clear. Next, we got to rip out this interior. Seat was already pulled out, so, yep. See, now I've got all the carpet just exposed, I don't have to rip it out. And it also, believe it or not, I'm trying to keep these panels here. I don't want to keep them because I plan on reusing them the way they are, but I'm planning on keeping them so I can reupholster them and make them nice. I'll probably add a little bit of class to this thing, just not much. These rear seat belts can go out though, completely. I think it's ready to pull the carpet out. Oh, dude, that's fucking gross. Nice. Fucking steering wheel puller. So if you guys know steering wheels, you guys know this is not an expensive one. I think this is like a $100 steering wheel. It's got a Momo adapter for it. It's a 70mm 6-bolt adapter for this thing. I think I got the actual adapter on Amazon. Then I got the steering wheel on I think NRG's website. It's a cheap steering wheel. I don't recommend it because I don't have any time with it. I just got whatever made the most sense financially for this car. I don't want this thing to be an expensive car. You know, this isn't like the 73 where I'm gonna have it forever. I'm gonna probably just build this, have some fun, and then get rid of it when I'm done, you know what I'm saying? Brush it off a little bit. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Plus it still works with this goofy ass tilt thing that Mustangs do that will definitely break. Boom, we got a racing steering wheel. And finally, I'm gonna be replacing this B&M shifter with a Hurst shifter. Hursts, baby. Look how clapped out this B&M shifter is. I mean, I'm sure it's a great shifter, but it's a little busted. I'm not sure if anybody would want this. That feels really good. That feels way better. Let's see here. We've got the shifter installed, and I tell you what, this had that B&M shifter in, which is a similar shifter to what I had, they make the same shifter that I put in the Camaro, the automatic one, the ratchet shifter. And I gotta tell you, man, this Hurst shifter, I don't want to sound biased, but this thing just feels so good. Oh man, I wish I could like explain to you how good this shifter feels in real life. I mean, it's not gonna be applicable when I go to drive it. It's gonna grind gears, no doubt. Synchros in this thing are probably fuckered, but God, it just feels so good. It's got such a good lock. I went ahead and adjusted it. On the bottom here, you've got these little adjustment knobs. The instructions are pretty simple on them, but this is, man, this feels great. And we got the steering wheel installed, which is nice. Beep, 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 beep. The horn doesn't work because the ECU's out. I also didn't get the seats in because I am missing some hardware. I've got the brackets, but I gotta get some hardware that mounts the seats. It's just some bolts, but I don't feel like fucking with it right now. But all in all, making like a little bit of progress on this thing. I talked to my buddy Keith over at Holly. He said he's totally down to send me the Terminator kit for this thing. So if that ECU that I'm having worked on doesn't work, it's going in this thing. I do have a couple more things I can do to this thing, but I'm gonna save them for the next video. I feel like I've made some pretty good progress today. I'm gonna end the video here. Since we can't drive it, we just gotta pretend. So, fucking. That's about right. Get in there, you fucking.